Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mr. Clutch Gaming here, back with the Destiny Raid Guide video. I know it's been a couple days since I've uploaded, but I've been having a lot of internet problems trying to get that sorted out. I've just been busy overall, but we've got that sorted up now, so every other day downloads will be coming back. So this time we're going to cover the Titan. Now the Titan in the raid has a lot more use than a Warlock. Because while the Warlock is good, the self-res is definitely good, the Titan has one of the more important roles for hard mode strategies. Now, as you can see, my Titan has full hard mode gear except for the helmet, because Oryx hates me. But basically, for hard mode Oryx, well, let's go checkpoint by checkpoint actually. For the beginning part, opening the portal, you can pretty much use whatever you want. I usually use the Hun Jury for most of the raid. Then I'll switch off between the Irene and the Yasmin. For hard mode, I'll probably use the Yasmin because it's 320. But if you have an Irene, it works just as well, if not better. And for the whole raid, I will run my Heroic Quilm's Terminus. I have seen people run the rocket launchers before, but as I said in my previous video, the rocket launchers you can just blow yourself up with, which is not my cup of tea. If it's yours, blow yourself up and ruin the raid for everyone, you go ahead. But anyway, pretty simple for the first checkpoint. For the second checkpoint, totems, Blessing of Light is really good up on the middle pad. And weapons too. This checkpoint does not require you to run something that kills ads. Now for normal mode, you obviously want to run whatever you want to run because it's normal. For hard mode, I do recommend using the bubble because even though it's a little bonus, it allows you to do so much more work on the Hollow Knights. And eventually orbs will just be up at the middle, hunters will tether, and warlocks will pop storm trance. Or, just whatever. For the third checkpoint, aka War Priest, you are going to want, if you have two Titans, have one run weapons and one run blessing. But for War Priest, if you are over 310 with either a Black Spindle, Yasmin, or Irene over 310, Weapons of Light is not required because you'll always usually have a tethering group. But Blessing of Light is very useful because the War Priest, if you make it to a third damage rotation, he will do the Vex Hobgoblin Retaliation Blast, which will mess your team up very badly. Now, the Blessing of Light helps that a great bit, but most teams won't make it to a third damage rotation. But if you're new in the hard raid, a Blessing of Light bubble does not go unnoticed. And Weapons of Light, obviously, more DPS, more everything. For the third checkpoint, Golgoroth, you are going to want to run Weapons of Light, as this checkpoint can be a wall in the raid. Usually isn't for more experienced teams. But having that Weapons of Light just makes Golgoroth die faster. Is I get up to like 150k with my Black Spindle with Weapons of Light and Tether. But with no further ado, for this checkpoint, you're always gonna want to, if you have Black Spindle, because the no reload is just good. And same goes for War Priest. But like I said, if you don't like the Black Spindle, it's not your cup of tea, Irene or Yasmin works just as well. Well, not just as well. It doesn't have the impact, but I think in general it'll work. You'll still kill the boss. But Titans get a very special role in this part for a lot of hard mode strategies. If you have noticed, if you have ever taken Gaze before, you can notice that taking Gaze can be kind of a bitch. What a Titan can do is he can equip his Weapons of Light. He can go down into the pit, pop his bubble in the doorway in the front left orb. If you run one orb strategy, if you don't, this strategy still works. Just wherever you pop the orbs. You pop it down there. Everybody drops down there. And Golgoroth will shoot down at the bubble. Now, what does this enable? This enables the gaze grabber to pull out his sniper, primary or heavy, shoot Golgoroth in the back, like that, take the gaze. But before that, usually your whole team will weaken the orb. My team does one orb. We usually pop the orb right here compared to Golgoroth's back. So, the whole team weakens the orb till it's about to drop. The Titan goes down and drops his weapons bubble. Then, the gaze grabber pops the orb, switches to his sniper, and pulls the gaze. And then you do your damage rotation. So that's pretty much covering the Golgoroth checkpoint for a Titan. Let's go over sisters. Now, obviously, sisters, everybody should be using a touch of mouse if they have one, or if they don't prefer it, Hunjury, Hawksaw, any normal PvE weapons will work. Like, I really do like the Hawksaw for PvE over PvP, even though I still think it destroys in PvP. Now, if you have two Titans, one run Blessing, well, actually, no. Both should be running weapons, actually. Never mind, because you get the Aura Shield. Now, obviously, very basic, depending on where you go. If you go to the mid, behind the pads, whichever. If you go behind the pads, obviously, you'll pop the bubble behind it. If you go to the middle, on the first round, you unfortunately cannot pop your bubble. On the second sister, though, you go up to the top plate, most likely, and you can pop your bubble behind for the Weapons of Light. That's pretty much it for sisters. Very easy encounter. Definitely the easiest in that raid. I'm very aware of that. Now, for Oryx, the Taken King himself, Titans are invaluable. As long as you have two, Oryx should be pretty easy, depending on the strategy you run. Most teams probably run a 8-8 or a 16 orb strategy, and I will go over those. Now, this will be what you've ran the whole time usually. Now, it's very important you have one Blessing of Light Titan, and if you don't have another Titan, no Weapons of Light. If you do, Weapons of Light. But this is what you're going to run for the Oryx checkpoint. You can, of course, put on Gift of Light or even Unbreakable if you want. I prefer War Machine. I prefer Magnetic Grenades. The melee and grenade is your choice, and jump. But Blessing of Light or weapons, Illuminated, and Bastion. Those are very important. So, I have chosen the moon specifically because of this spawn. Now, that is plate 1. That is plate 2. That is plate 3. And that is plate 4. I am in the middle. Sister is there. Sister is there. What is going to happen is Oryx will go to a plate. We're going to make that plate 1. Titan will pop his Weapons of the Light bubble just as Oryx is pulling his fist off the plate. Just as he's sliding it off the plate very gently. Now, you pop that, you get your Blessing of Light. You can get down to 1 in the mag if you want before you drop the bubble. I don't care to. I think having the first 11 rounds is good. Now, runner is up. Number 1 pad is lit up. Ogre is spawning. Why do we need Blessing of Light? Well, for most people, you run Touch of Mouse in the raid. So, if you're a Titan, you have this Blessing of Light bubble, you can shoot the Ogre with Touch of Mouse, and there'll always be 2 of you, and you kill the Ogres that way. And then the people on the pads, as far as hard mode goes, they focus on the Knights. And you do that, you rinse and repeat. And it makes everything so much easier to have a Titan in this raid. Like, oh my god. Like, Titans are good in all the raids, but you do that 4 times. Now, one of the Titans will go get the 4th orb every time. One of them will. It's usually decided between the team itself. And depending on what strategy you use, 16 orb strategy, for those of you who don't know, is where you stack up all 4 orbs in the corners. You detonate all the orbs at once and one-shot orcs. 8 and 8 strategy is where you stack them up twice and you kill orcs in 2 shots. I find it easier to just run the hard mode strategy or the challenge mode strategy. 8 and 8 does work just as good though. Anyway, I've hoped you've enjoyed, and for those of you who haven't read the description in some of my videos, I play with a really great guy named KGravel10. He is a awesome YouTuber and streamer, and you should go check out his channel. He just hit 50 subscribers right after I recorded this video. And I really hope you did enjoy this video and found it helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions on the raid, and I will do a video or I'll comment you back about it. Anyway, that's it guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and sub. I hope you enjoyed.